Hello everyone and welcome to League Review. I'm your host William and today is week 4 of the LEC. Now I have to say at the beginning of this podcast, unfortunately this one is going to be a very quick podcast. I had some stuff planned and unfortunately not going to be able to get too much done. A lot of stuff came up today and we're... just real life stuff. Oh, it's no good. It's all good. It's what I meant to say, not no good. But yeah, we'll go through this quickly though. So it might only be 15 to 30 minute podcast, but we'll still get our predictions in. All right, last week's predictions, pretty good. We went 7-3. I picked Mad Lions to be a SK there. Schalke losing the Misfits was kind of surprising, like very surprising to me. Though not the most surprising thing that happened this week. Fnatic over Excel, that was easy. Origin over Vitality, easy. G2 over Rogue, I thought was easy. Schalke then, remember when I said Schalke needed to win this week? Needed to win both games? Like it was vital that they didn't drop a single one? They dropped both. Unfortunately, not that great, but yeah, they went 0-2, and I went 0-2 predicting them, so Schalke is dead to me. Excel beat Vitality, simple as can be, because this is Vitality. If Schalke's bad, Vitality's even worse, which is kind of scary. My Mad Lions over Rogue. Woo! I told you guys, I switched it mid-podcast last week, because something was telling me, just something. There was just something in my gut telling me that Mad Lions is going to win this game. I just had a feeling that the only proof I had, or only like statistics or math behind it, was that Rogue was going to be preparing really hard for G2 this week because they want to prove themselves. Like they're a bunch of rookies, they want to really prove themselves against the best team in EU, and then they're going to lose to G2. It's going to kind of break their spirit a little bit. And then they're not going to have as much practice against Mad Lions. Mad Lions is going to be coming up hot with a victory over SK. They won't have to focus as much on SK as they would have to be on Rogue. And then by them being more prepped and like more like just feeling motively, like just like better, and Rogue kind of being in the dumps a little bit probably after putting all that prep and effort into prepare for G2 and then losing, then they're a bunch of rookies that might affect them more. There was literally all my gut was thinking about, and it worked. I don't know, you can't necessarily say that was the exact reason, but hey, it got me a win, and that's all I can ask for. And then Misfits immediately came and beat Orton, not expecting that. Like, what in that game? What the hell, man? Misfits is freaking... I wanted to say that Immortals is the worst 4-2 team. Yeah, I think Misfits might be better than Immortals. But, like, what? Like, where did this team come from? They started out 0-2 looking like the worst team in EU by a long shot. And all of a sudden, they're a 4-game winning streak, only 2 games behind first for G2. They would get the big bye thing for the playoffs with the LEC at the moment. It's insane. Then G2 kind of beat Fnatic pretty hard as well, because G2 is disgusting. Like, super disgusting. Yeah. Would have topics, but the only topics that we could just briefly talk about is, like, can anyone stop G2? Ryan gave these topics, by the way, so shout out to Ryan. Can anyone stop G2? Or how? Like, it's really... I don't know. I really don't think... Maybe a game or two they could stop G2. Like, like they might drop a game because G2 might be trolling hard. But I don't see anyone in any region outside of China getting in the way of G2 right now. Like, G2 is a machine that keeps on, like, they just keep on dominating. They picked up exactly where they left off last year. The Caps ADC and Perks in mid lane has not slowed them down in the slightest. They actually just look just as good. And they're just really good players. I think maybe IG with Puff and Southwind, and maybe Top. But then again, we haven't seen China for 3 weeks now or so. Has it been 4 weeks even? I'm unsure. Let's see. It's been I think it's been 4 weeks since we've seen China. So we really don't even know that maybe G2 is better than all the Chinese teams. You can say that at the moment, and I can't really argue with that much with you. But yeah, G2 is really good. And then just briefly, the next one is Europe better or worse than last year? I feel like I'm reading Q&A questions, but it's just from Ryan. I asked him to give me some topics because I was gonna have very quick podcast today, and I didn't have enough time to prep pretty much anything. Like, the predictions are going to be live on the match history thing, because I didn't even prepare that. But, is Europe better or worse this year than last year? I'm going to say, in my opinion, Europe is better this year because last year in spring, let's pull this up. Let's go to that's our prediction overview. We're 1-9, by the way, 70%. We are crushing Europe so far this year. But all right, Razork was going to be player of the week, by the way, but we're not going to have any details on that outside of just seeing his picture. I got a little bit dumb, but then I just couldn't. I just have too much other stuff right now. But let's see. Let's pull up Spring 2020, LEC Spring 2019. I really do think they're better. Last year we had Fnatic really struggling. G2 went 13-5, by the way. That's kind of funny to think about. But Origin was really good until the finals last year. Fnatic was really struggling at the beginning of the year and then picked it up at the end. Splice was Splice. They were average. And then the rest of the league was very meh at best. Especially Rogue being down there 2-16. So, even if we go to LEC summer, so really you only had G2 and Origin for a full year of good, and then Fnatic towards the end. No, that's not what I wanted. Summer 2019. There we go. And then at the end, we had Fnatic dominating and G2. Splice was okay. Splice looks better because of their Worlds performance. They really outperformed at Worlds. But frankly, they did not look that great in the LEC specifically. Rogue kind of picked it up at the end. Vitality picked it up a little bit at the end. Schalke as well. They were pretty bad last year. Outside, it was very top-heavy. And I would still say they're kind of top-heavy. But we're seeing really a lot more teams. No, I won't say that they're top heavy in the sense that G2 is way better than anyone else by a very, very large margin. There is not a team that's even close. And then you have Fnatic, who's pretty good. Origin pretty good, even though they dropped the Misfits. Misfits is a nice surprise. I still need to see a little bit more to fully believe in that team. It's a best of one scenario, best of ones are really hard to predict how good you are. Mad Lions, I'm very impressed by. They're a bunch of rookies. I love Shadow. It's crazy that the rookies are carrying Humanoid. It's just all I want to say. Excel's been okay. Rogue has actually been better than the 3-3 record. Like I said, I think they're going to bounce back very strong. And then the only two terrible teams are Schalke and Vitality, and then SK is kind of mediocre. Their only wins are against Schalke and Vitality. So, outside of 3 teams in the EU, you got, 7 well-competing teams, where the last few years we've only had 2, 3, 4 at most. So, yeah, I definitely think EU is better this year. Thank you, Ryan, for the topics. And now we are going to move quickly just to my power rankings, which I did get time to do. These are the power rankings for this week. We had G2 obviously staying number 1. Honestly, I know I said on the podcast last week or yesterday that I would have top and IG above G2. To be honest, you could win me over saying G2 is the best team in the world right now, just because we haven't seen enough from China, obviously. But that's not China's fault. The league's fault, I should say. It's the country's fault, yes, but not the league. Fnatic moves up to number 2, just pretty. Even though they got clobbered to G2 a bit, I just really. Origin lost to Misfits, man. You can't just not put them up there, what I mean? Mad Lions dropped up number 4. I've been very impressed with Shadow and all Karzi and Kaiser. I just want to see Humanoid has had okay games. He's definitely not as bad as he was in the first few weeks, but he's still, I don't know, man. If he could turn it around a lot more than what we've seen from him this year, this team is going to be very scary, I think. I'm very excited to see how this team can progress with that. Rogue as well, even though they're 3-3, I still have a lot of faith in this Rogue team. I think, again, I thought that this was just an unfortunate circumstance, and I think they'll easily bounce back this week. Misfits moves all the way up to number 6. They're 4-2, but I'm very impressed with how Misfits has actually pulled off a 4-2. Not something I ever expected from them, to be honest. I came into the season thinking they were going to be the worst team, and Vitality was going to be the second worst team, but I think I had Vitality at 8th, so third worst, and I had SK at 9th. That was it. But yeah, they're proving that they are much better than Vitality and SK by a large margin. And well, I'll be curious to see if they can keep it up. They beat Origin. Who knows? They're going to take down G2 next? Maybe. We'll see with my predictions. Excel dropped a little bit. Excel had an okay week. They lost to Fnatic, and then they beat Vitality. I can't really fault them too hard for losing to Fnatic. I can't really give them too much praise for beating Vitality, so they kind of just fell by default because Misfits and Mad Lions rose. SK moved up just simply because they beat Schalke. They've now beaten Schalke and Vitality, so those are the two teams below them. I do have Schalke 9th, and for as disappointing as they are, I still actually do think they are better than Vitality. Vitality is the worst team in all of Western League by a decent margin, in my opinion. So, but who knows? I also thought Schalke was going to be able to beat Misfits and SK just fine, and they did not. They did not at all. And this team looks like a complete mess now. And then Vitality 10th at last. So we had a lot of moving around. I was at the 10th, and first everyone else moved up or down at least one position. All right, I didn't have a Boomer award, but the big award was not Reckless. It was Razork, as we mentioned before. His KDA was 3.6. His kill participation 76.1. I don't have the on the screen, but I have it over here, so I guess I'll put it on the screen right here. Damage per minute 228.9, and 0 pentakills. Zero pentakills. But he went 6-1-6 against us 4 this week, and then against Origin, he was just popping off on that Gragas, man. He was disgust. 5-2-5 on the Gragas, 6-0-6 on the Lee Sin, and just all around a beast. Next, we're just gonna go straight into the standings. This is current actual standings for LEC. We have the 6-0 G2, the 4-2 Rogue, 4-2 Origin, 4-2 Fnatic, 4-2 Misfits. So you have to be 4-2 to be in the top 5. 3-3 Excel, 3-3 Mad Lions. I just realized I did not move these. I didn't move all of these. Here we go. Here we go. And here we go. I forgot to move Mad Lions, and I kept Rogue there at number 2. So the rest of it is correct, but I forgot to move that. So there you go. Mad Lions is 4-2. Rogue is 3-3. SK is 2-4. Vitality is 0-6, and SL4 is 0-6. There you go. And then we'll talk about here. We'll go back over here to today's topics just to talk about the predictions, because the predictions are right here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oopsies. There we go. And now it's week 4 right there. So week 4. All right, week 4's predictions here. I zoomed it in a little bit so it's easier to see. Less ads on the screen, but which I should probably do more often. But all right, we got Mad versus Origin. Origin coming off a very bad loss to Misfits. They did beat Vitality, but again, that means nothing. So they lost to G2. They beat Rogue. They beat Fnatic. They've beat SO4. So they have 2 wins against 2 good teams in Rogue and Fnatic, and then 2 garbage wins against SO4 and Vitality. Then they also have a bad loss to Misfits, and then a loss to G2, who is totally fine. Mad, on the other hand, has lost to G2. They beat Vitality, which is pointless. They did lose to Excel, which is kind of bad on them. Beat SO4, which is pointless. Beat SK, which is pointless. And then they beat Rogue, which was good. So Mad still has a little bit to prove. I love what they're doing, but 3 of their wins are against the bottom 3 teams in the league by a large margin, like I said before. So I am going to go Origin in game number 1 over Mad, and I think that Origin should be able to bounce back from their embarrassing loss against Misfits. And they're facing Excel next week, so Mad has a very tough week this week with Origin and Fnatic. If they can steal one of these games, they're legit. They are legit. Excel versus SK, give me Excel. Any of the bottom 3 teams I do not trust, at all. Even if SK is 2-4 and only 2 games out of second place, they're 2-4 against the 2 worst teams. They have not looked too great outside of that. Fnatic versus Vitality, give me Fnatic easy. Like I said, Vitality is worse than CLG by a decent bit. So that's if you only watch NA and you don't watch EU, like they're worse. They're probably 2 times worse than CLG. I say SO4, man. I told you, you do not want to start 0-6. Look at who you got to face this week. You got to face Rogue, who's trying to get some momentum back after an 0-2 week. And then you're the one they get to beat up and their anger on that. And then you got to go face G2, so you're not winning that one either. So SO4 is going to start this week 0-8. Spoiler for my other pick, but I'm pretty sure you guys knew that was coming. Rogue, definitely, they're just going to dominate all over the map against Hansama is just going to destroy Forgiven, in my opinion. Forgiven just plays so passive. They're not aggressive whatsoever. And Hansama's aggressiveness is just going to run all over him. G2 over Misfits. Yeah, G2. This could be... Is this game G2 Trolls? I'm kind of on the fence about this one right now. Just thinking about it. No, I can't pick G2 to lose in the troll until they actually start losing in trolling initially to start. So we're gonna go G2 here just fine against Misfits. G2 again, best team in the West by a lot, best team possibly in the world by a pretty good margin. Vitality versus Misfits. Give Misfits another win. They're going to start 5-3. I'm so happy for this team. I'm going to jump back on the Misfits train. I was a Misfits fan last year, and then I completely jumped off that train as it crashed and burned. But maybe they're going to bring me back with these rookies. I love Dan. Just on name alone, Dan is amazing. And Razork is actually legit. He's a really good jungler. I'm really impressed. Rogue versus SK. We got Rogue. Rogue's coming back strong. I'm telling you. I know I picked them to go 0-2 last week, and they're 3-3, so people might be a little more concerned about them being the dark horse to win it all this year. Don't worry. That week went exactly how I thought it would, and G2 just kind of crushes your moral a little bit. Your morale, not your moral. Your morale. It crushes your morale a little bit. And I think that's what caught them off guard against Madline. They hadn't fully recovered. They have a full week to recover from the tilt from that. And they have SO4 to beat up. That's a softie. And SK that also should be a softie. Now, if they lose these games, there's a much bigger difference between what SO4 and or what Rogue is doing this week, or what I see Rogue doing this week to what I see Rogue doing next week. Like next week, let's see what they got. They got Fnatic and Misfits, who are 2 teams that are fairly pretty good right now. And so yeah, I definitely need to see Rogue win these games. I don't know if they can beat Fnatic, but if they come up strong on 2 a week here, I think they can take down Misfits for next week. SO4 versus G2, yeah, G2 could fall asleep on the keyboard and wake up 15 minutes into the game and then beat SO4. It's not even a question. They throw this game. I hate this team forever. Origin versus Excel. Origin all the way again. I think EU has been pretty easy to predict because everyone's in like sections, you know. G2's at the top. Then you got a little bit of clump with like Fnatic and Origin, and then a little bit below that is Mad, Misfits, Excel. And then below that is the SO4 or is SK by themselves, and then SO4 and Vitality. So there's just like little sections here where you can almost just like there's a strong enough difference between those little groups that it actually makes it pretty easy to predict. There are a few upsets every now and then that you kind of need to like watch out. Like for example, Mad over Rogue last week. That was a nice upset to call, and Misfits over Origin. Like that one I would have never called. So like there's always going to be an upset or two, but I think if you call for the most part, maybe you call 1 or 2 upsets throughout the week. But I got you locked down. They're kind of like LPL this year, which for my prediction wise, which makes me pretty happy. For being best of ones, it's kind of hard to lock down. Origin versus Excel, I picked Origin. And then final game, Mad versus Fnatic. This is going to be a tough one. Mad plays the first game of the week and the last game of the week. Fnatic has Vitality. I'm going to have to go Vitality or Fnatic. I don't have it in my gut for Mad this time around. I think that Fnatic's just a little too powerful for them, and that Fnatic's going to be really more focused on their scrims. for focusing against Mad, where against Vitality should be kind of a walk in the park type situation, where Mad has to study just as hard for both Origin and Fnatic. Those are two very, very tough matches that they're going into. But if they, like I said before, if they can steal one of those games, I don't have them stealing one, but if they can steal one of those games, this team will be really legit, and I'm actually looking at them as my dark horse, especially if they steal one and if Rogue drops one. Like, my friendship with Rogue is over, and Mad Lions are going to be my new favorite for the dark horse in EU, because right now, obviously, the 3 favorite, it should be just G2, but then Origin and Fnatic are obviously the two also big powerhouses, and we're kind of looking for that outsider on the fourth place team that might have a shot to make it to MSI, maybe. It's a slim chance right now, I think, with D2 at the moment. But yeah, it's only 20 minutes. I'm sorry. I apologize for anyone who listens in the car. This is a quick one. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow for... So, wait. Well, let's do an eyes on. Let's just do an eyes on off the top of our head. I want to see eyes on Shadow for right now. Let's look at Shadow. Shadow Mad Lions. There we go. Let's pull up Mad Lions and Shadow. The Italian player Shadow. There he is. He's going to be our eyes on player of the week. So let's see how he can perform in the jungle going against Origin and Fnatic. He's going to have to go against Selfmade there. So it's going to be pretty tough on both his games here. Like they're not going to be easy games by any means necessary. He's going against Xerxes and Selfmade. Those are two high premier junglers. But if he can perform like he has been, I'm all for it. Give me a good victory here where we might actually have another team. This could be the real dark horse over Rogue. Or if Rogue wins too, we could have two dark horses, which is the more the merrier in my opinion. And even Misfits, low key, actually Misfits. But yeah, that's gonna be our eyes on for the week. Like I said, sorry for the podcast being so short, but we will be back tomorrow for the wild card, which I know only a few of you watch, but we will still always do that to give those teams at least the small shout out throughout the week, and then we should be back Monday for Korea again. I did not watch the games yet, so I don't know any spoilers. I don't know what happened yet. Actually, I do know that Griffin came back against Sandbox in a reverse sweep, and I'm very upset about that because I saw that on Twitter from, I think it was Ashley Gang, and I'm like, oh, Ashley, what are you doing? But she's reporting what she should. I just completely forgot LCK was on today. That's all. But yeah, that will be the podcast today. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry it was short. Sorry it wasn't as clean, or we didn't have our green circles and the logos, but had other stuff pop up, and life happens sometimes, That's just all you can say. Anyway, good night guys, and we'll see you tomorrow for the wild card.